Okay. So tell me, what is the command used to check whether the process is running or not?
Yes, hyphen ef, and you can use the grep command and to check the command, like the process name.
Okay. So can you tell me the branching strategy?
Yes, sir. So mainly we follow the branding strategy in our company. Like basically we have the branches such as main branch. So this main branch is officially holds all the clean code. That's a production ready code which will be deployed to the production. So from the main branch, we'll maintain the develop branch. Basically, the develop branch also serves as the it's the integration branch for the ongoing development. So in the development branch here, we will have all the new features and bugs that the developers will create features and they will test the features here. So basically, in the feature branch, whatever features that the developers are working on, so they will work on the feature branch and then they will merge the changes to the develop branch. And in the release branch also, it will be created from the develop itself. So it is for basically the new releases. Once the testing is done and all the bug fixes and the preparation is done, so we will go ahead and merge this release branch also into the develop branch. So from this develop branch, so it's basically it's also production ready code. Once this code is say like ready for the production, so we'll merge all these changes into the main branch. So from the main branch, we'll be deploying it in the production. And also if there is any hot fixes or any bugs comes up in the code, so from the main branch, we will create a hotfix branch. So from the hotfix branch, we will address all the bugs issues, and then we will merge this hotfix branch into the main and the develop branch as well.
Okay. So from for QA and UAT, from which branch you are going to deploy?
From develop only.
Develop only. Okay. So I told you, right? So from develop, we are going to develop deploy to dev only. For release, from release, we are going to deploy to UAT and QA.
Yes. UAT and QA from the release branches.
Okay. So can you tell me when you are going to use rebase and when you are going to use git merge?
Git rebase and merge basically we'll use for the when we going to merge the like any code into any branches. So in case of linear sequence history, we will go with the git rebase command. We need the changes in a linear sequence format. If not, we will go with the git merge itself.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between git merge and rebase?
So basically, if we need like the changes history, everything. So here in the real-time environment, developers will go with a git merge. So here we'll have the history of all the commit changes in the after the merging also. In the rebase, it will create a like a linear sequence.
Okay. So as a SCM admin, so what are the things you will implement for your GitHub?
For the GitHub, basically, so we need to follow the some standard settings. Standards basically like we have this grid branchings, and where we can actually check for these. Basically, who can make the edit changes in the branches, right? So we can set up that. So there's in the Git branch there is an option in the settings. We can go and like apply the settings, like who can actually make changes to the branches and who can go ahead and merge the branches. And also once the code is ready for the like for the deployment, also we can set the PR pull request rules here, and who is the approver we can assign here.
Okay, next.
So basically, when also we are doing the like the updates here, so we can like if we are performing any rollback updates, we can make sure that we are going to go ahead with the current stable branch. That's the
That's a
current
correct.
table code.
Mm.
Uh, these are some of the this one.
Only that's it.
Mm, apart from that,
Okay, Niharika, can you tell me? Okay. So you are a Git admin, okay? GitHub admin. So what are the things you are going to take care when the new project comes? It's about not about the new employee. So if the new project comes, okay. So you need to set up from GitHub, right? So to store your SCM, code, everything. So as a DevOps admin, so what are the things you will take in care? See, my question is, so what are the things you will implement? One is branching strategy. Whatever you are telling, that is comes under branching strategy. Next. Okay. Mm. Okay. Amruta.
Yes, Sandeep. So first we can restrict using like so who can access my repository, who can create repositories. So and we have we have option like who can read, write, and what is the admin role for if they required admin role. So what are all the permission they want, I will give, and who can create, who can delete the branching we have branching protection rule, who can push the codes without raising any PR, so they cannot merge to the current some any branches like main branch or master branch. They should not move. For that, we will use a branch protection rule. And so for maintenance purpose, we have like we can collaborate with some groups we can maintain, so who can only read, who can only create, those things we can monitor in
Okay. You said 2 points. One is user access and security management. Next, branching strategy. Next.
um, just we can give access only for the who can create the repositories.
Okay, that's okay. That still comes under user access only.
Mm. Then like whenever they wanted to merge back to the there is a PR, so we'll assign who can approve, that one we can do. And if they are trying to access so they need like multi-factor authentication. That one we can do.
Generally, you tell me. So, what are the things you will do?
Um, so I will remove that delete access. Like any branch or repository, no one should delete.
Okay, see, if you are giving only read-write access, so you can't delete any branches from your Git repository. Okay, that is not a normal use case. Like it is also comes under user access only. Okay, Sagar.
So apart from all these, I will go for like monitoring and maintenance. Like regularly, I will review the inactive branches and I will put that into the archive old repositories. So and I will use the GitHub Insights like to track the contribution and activity of the each individual worker. So and one more, like I can rotate the credential stored in the GitHub secrets. So and I can configure CI/CD automation. So to for like build the test and to Dockerize and deployment. So example like in my Rails application, and I use the GitHub Actions to build the Docker images and to put up to the Docker hub. So and we integrate like here in the Sonar Cube to quality for the code scanning. So and one more like branching like here example like the main is for production and the deploy for integration. So and I will give the future for the new work or new features. So and I will put like the PRs review for before merging. So I will enforce this and I will check the enable. I will check the status checks like here you must pass like before merging. So one more, I will set up the naming convention should be the proper. So this is the basic thing, and we initialize the branch protection rule with the main or the master that should be protected, and we add git ignore and readme .md for future reference. So like one who can be the new who can join for the new organization, he can refer the readme, then he can go through that.
Yes. Now you have idea, Omar, Amruta. So first what are the security complaints we need to check? So we will use code quality before if someone raises the PR to a developer master. So we will implement code quality review. So whenever the developer raises the PR, so for that code it will checks your quality gateway. If it is passed, then we are allowed to merge them. So you can also enforce if the commit is not proper. So you can't push any code into the development. We can also restrict or we can also restrict for commit also. If you put like some commit like this is the first file, this is future. So we can implement like we can put Jira ticket as a commit. So if someone later after 2 months, if someone comes, so okay, this feature is for this ticket. So we can easily identify. Okay. So code quality we can check. So we'll also integrate webhooks. So CI/CD pipeline integration. So we'll also do. Suppose if you want backup recovery, so we can set up a automated repository backups to S3 bucket. Okay. So then if you come for security, so we can integrate advanced security for secret scanning, and also we can use that is dot bottleneck. So there is called so it will show you the older version if you are using Flask or some other dependencies. If they're mentioning the older version, so it will treat it as a vulnerability. So what we call dependent bot. Yeah, dependent bot. So we can enable dependent bot. Okay, so these things you need to, and also if someone pushes the code into your secrets into your Git repository, you should scan. So that's why in advanced security we will enable the secret scanning, and also you can enable code QL for quality checks. Okay, you understood, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So tokens also we will need to take care of, like if you have any token.
Which token?
No, the pad tokens will be there right in the GitHub.
Yeah. So that will be stored in. There is a secret sections will be there, right, in GitHub.
Yes, sir.
There we are going to store any secrets. So if whenever you are implementing GitHub with your Sonar Cube, so we will keep it your Sonar Cube token in secrets only in GitHub.
Okay.
Okay. Omar, can you tell me the difference between Git init and clone?
Yes, sir. Git init is like it is used to initiate the Git repositories in the local directly, and in Git clone it's a one-time setup. If we are going to clone the repositories from the remote to the local.
Okay. Amruta, can you tell me what is the purpose of Git stash? Amruta S.
Git stash.
Yes.
A Git stash is used to save a temporary data. Means which is it will not be committed.
Okay, what is the purpose using Git stash?
If we are using Git stash, means the data which will be stored is in a temporary memory.
See, you are not going to store any data into a stash. It is a source code, okay? Okay, tell me, Omar, what do you mean by Git stash? Or what is the purpose of using Git stash? Omar?
Sorry, sir. I was on mute actually. I was saying. Git stash is basically like whenever the developers are working on any file and they don't want to commit the changes to the remote or the so in this case they will go with a Git stash and they will store the like the code in the temporary areas.
Okay. What is the difference between Git stash apply and Git stash pop?
Git stash pop will basically apply the changes to the working area, and Git stash apply it will have the it will also apply the changes to the working area, but it will also have the code.
What it will have?
So pop will like basically it will remove the changes from that temporary area and it will reapply the changes in the workspace.
Which one?
Pop.
Okay.
Apply will only reapply the changes in the working area without removing the changes from the stash.
Okay. Explain me the architecture of Docker.
Docker architecture basically it has the Docker client, the Docker daemon, and the Docker registry. The Docker client is where we will actually have the run the Docker commands, Docker build, Docker pull, and Docker run. So this is the primary way that the Docker interacts with the client. So whenever you use the Docker run commands, the client will send the commands to the Docker daemon, and which carries the commands.
Okay.
In the Docker daemon, so Docker daemon listens for the Docker API request and manages the Docker objects such as the containers, the networks, and the volumes. So this daemon will communicate with the other services to manage the Docker services.
Okay.
And
So
registry, in Docker registry, we will basically have the Docker store the Docker images in the Docker app registry, or else also we can go with the ECR for the private registries.
Okay. So take an example. So can you tell me first what is the difference between pod distribution budget and deployment? First, tell me what you mean by deployment.
Deployment in it's basically used for the like you need to deploy any applications. I will go with the deployment for basically for the like rolling updates, auto scaling purpose. So we'll go with the deployments.
What is so? Why can't you go for pod? Then why you are using kind as a deployment?
So deployments basically runs multiple replicas of the pods. So we can schedule it anywhere, and also it can be scalable and used for the stateless applications. So in this case, we will go with the deployment.
Okay, so why can't we go with pod? In kind, you are writing for deployment, right? So why can't we go with the pod object?
Pod we can't scale up easily, right, sir? So in this case,
Okay, scale up only. That is the reason we are not using for pod.
mm, yeah, yes, sir. Um,
Abdullah, can you tell me what why you are using deployment instead of pod?
Yeah, so deployment have features like auto healing. If a pod goes down, deployment will restart the other pod, and it will ensure the specific number of the identical pods we mention in the number of pods we mention in replicas,
Hmm.
and uh, in the pod will only create a specific pod. It won't have the scaling auto scaling feature and auto healing feature. If a pod goes down, then the pod will not revive that pod.
Okay. See, deployment is an object that manages the desired state of pods and replica sets. Okay. So it has some advanced features like scaling, rolling updates, and if the pod goes down, so deployment will make sure that it should always maintain the desired state. Okay. So whatever you mentioned in the deployment file. If you're going with a pod, so pod will also runs your application, but if the pod goes down due to some configuration issue or something for like resource what do you mean by pod distribution budget? 3 pods will be evacuated, correct? Because we are draining, means no pod should be scheduled on that particular node. So if you mention PDB is equal to 3, so what it will do, so before evacuating all the 3 pods, it will evacuate one pod first. Okay. Then it will inform to the replica set to create a new pod on node 2 or any other healthy nodes if you are having 3 or more worker nodes. Okay. So wait until the new pod is running, then evacuates the second pod. Okay. If you are using pod distribution budget, suppose if you are using only the deployment, so what it will do, whatever the parts which is running on the node 1, all will terminate at a time, correct? So
Yes.
you may get
Yes.
disturbance, I mean, you may get some downtime for your application. Okay. So you understood, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
ಈಗ
Yes, even
some-
if we delete by mistake also, it will not delete because we applied part distribution.
yes.
We all use in this voluntary distribution. For this part distribution is used for voluntary distributions.
Yeah.
So
So
minimum
part
number of pods
distribution,
will be
minimum
remain.
number of parts. Suppose that's what I explained. Like in your node 1 only 3 parts is there. Or suppose 3 parts which is running. So we are draining the node 1. Okay. But our intention is should be like at any condition, the 3 parts should be run any nodes, but it should run. Suppose in the node 1 I am draining, but whatever the pod distribution we put it like 3, right? So the criteria is not matching. So what it will do, first it will evacuate one pod. Okay. So it will make sure that it should spin up in another node within it should be able to serve the traffic, then it is going to evacuate second pod. Okay. Then second pod spin up correctly in the second node, then it will evacuate. Likewise, 3 pods will be evacuated safely and it will create in another node. But in deployment, what it will do, at a time it will terminate all the nodes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can, in the interview, if they ask you, like you can go, you can give it an example. Okay. So they will also understand. So you will also, I mean, they will think that okay, you are work somewhere. Okay. So yesterday someone has asked, right, run revision time. Nagareddy, you only asked, right? So that means how many versions of your deployment need to be kept in Kubernetes. So that's what we mentioned. Runtime history, right? So we will mention, right? So how many? Suppose if I want to roll back to 5th version, so we can roll back. So whatever the deployments we done it, so it's like a commit ID, new commit ID. So I mentioned like 10. So 10 deployments, previous deployment will be stored in your Kubernetes. Okay. Understood. So runtime revision.
It has to be rollback specific that number. No? What
Yes,
you
yes, yes. Suppose I have deployed 6th deployment. Now I go back to second deployment, which I done 2 months before. So we can roll back to second deployment. Okay. So we are telling like how many artifacts you are going to keep it. Anyway, we will store it in a ECR. Still, if I want to roll back to the 5th or 6th without pulling the new image, then we can do it using the runtime history, revision history. Revision history. Okay.
Yeah, got it. Sandeep.
Okay. Yeah, Amrita, B.
Yes, Sandeep.
Oh, you only Amrita. Okay, another Amrita.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me the difference between CMD and entry point.
CMD and entry point difference.
Yes.
Entry point defines means it will define the main command which we will run now in the container. And CMD is nothing but a default command for the container.
Why we use CMD?
CMD in it means if you want to pass some arguments, that time we'll use for container.
Why we need CMD? Tell me first.
Means are they means for passing the arguments we want means CMD is used to pass the arguments.
Okay. What arguments you are going to pass? Siddesh.
Yes, sir. CMD and entry point, these commands are used in the Docker files. So CMD, it will provide the default commands for the container. So coming to the entry point, it will configure the container to run as a executable. So in CMD, it will override by the command line arguments, and then the entry point is not override command line arguments.
Okay. So can we run a container without CMD in the entry point? If not, why?
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat the question?
Why you can't run a container without a CMD or entry point?
So in the Docker, it will container normally runs based on some entry point and CMD instruction to given in the Docker files. So if the image doesn't have an entry point, like if the like base images like Ubuntu or Alpine, you can still run the container. So, but it won't be anything by default. Can we override and provide your own command when starting the container? Sir, I will get back to you in 2 minutes.
Sagar?
Yeah, Sandeep. So we can run a container without both CMD and entry point because, like, see, the container can be built without this. For example, like, I just need to we can use this in the Kubernetes also. Like when we are running, right? Like when we use the image in the next project. So on that time also we can bypass this. So there also we can directly in the deployment file we can run this. So there is no, we don't get any error by missing this CMD or entry point.
Okay. So like for Ubuntu, all those things, they will return CMD in the base image itself.
Base image, yes.
Yeah. Suppose why we need CMD in the entry points, because so you downloaded some image, okay, to activate something in your container. So suppose if you are not installed any task manager in your Linux, so if you type top command, will it work? No. Correct. So some packages it should be need. So to image is just a normal object. So to activate, or you need to tell something, right, to run your process or something. So we are informing Docker or a command to run what to run inside a container. So that will mention in the CMD and entry point.
Yeah.
So these are the very default. I mean default what you call default entry point or default command to run inside the container. Okay. So you need, if you are writing any custom Docker file or custom image, definitely you need a CMD in the entry point. Okay. Whenever you are downloading from Docker Hub or something, so they already written a default command while you are pulling the Docker image. That's why it is running. You're just pulling, right? So whenever you are writing your own Docker image, then definitely you need a CMD in the entry point. Okay. Okay. So can you tell me, Amrita, B, can you tell me what are the factors you will consider? Suppose you are pulling Docker images from Docker Hub. So you are going to build an application. You are going to, you need to pull some images from the Docker. So what are the things you will consider?
So I will first, if example I will take, I will be pulling from the Docker hub. So I will create a token there. So then I will add into the inside whatever credentials we use, right? So there while creating, I will add that credentials, the tokens. And I will mention the image and like Docker login, we will mention in the token with the token. And I will try
Tell me
to.
what is my question.
What are all the things you follow for pulling the images?
No, I'm not asking about the configuration. I'm asking like you are going to pull Docker image. Okay.
Okay.
Someone has told you to create a Docker container. So you are going to pull base image. So what are the factors you will look into it while pulling the Docker image from the Docker hub?
I mean, so image size.
Okay, image size. Okay, next.
And
Like based on the requirement and applications weightages, we can give. It has to be increase. If it is load increase, it can make it. I give CPU from 1 to 4. If it load increase, can increase up to 4 CPU, and even has to give a memory to increase for particular 1 GB to the 4 to 5 GB. And for soft limit, we used to say if it is not used, even the container or like our application doesn't need resources much. So better to read back to the specific minimal like what is you mentioned in the resources. Like it is 1 CPU and 1 memory is enough for us to run our applications in the container. So you can use that specific kind of resources.
Okay, see, the hard limit is like a strict maximum amount of resource that the container cannot exceed. Suppose if I put for 512 MB, so it can use up to 512 MB only. Okay, if it's more than that, so the Docker will kill the container. In the soft limit is nothing but a preferred minimum. So if it is, I put it like 512, or so you need to specify two terms. One is the what is the maximum and what is the minimum. If it is a 256, it can be extended up to 512 MB. Okay. Suppose if I want to scale up, I don't know when is the traffic, so I can put it like two. One is minimum and one is the maximum. So minimum is 250 and maximum is 512. So if it is reaches to 256, so it can grows up to 512. Okay.
Okay.
After 512, it is going to trigger terminate the container. Here, only one thing we can. It's like a maximum one. If it is reaches to 512, it can delete. In the soft, we can give some space. If it is reaches to this, you can maximum, you can extend to this 512. Okay, to minimum and maximum, we can set it in a soft limit. Okay, so that is.
So, like, did you configure in a Dockerfile itself?
Hello.
Yeah, like this, like hard limit and soft limit, you can configure in Dockerfile, or like while writing the
running the Dockerfile, also you can restrict. Okay, you can while running the container also. I mean, while running your Docker image, right? So on this also you can use Docker run -- memory is equal to 512 and -- memory reservation is equal to 256. Then it will think that it's a soft limit. If you run only with Docker run -- memory is equal to some specific number, so it will think like it's an hard limit. Okay.
Hard limit. Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay. Okay. So Amruta, yes, and Amruta, I mean Rakshita. So you need to prepare both of you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. We can end up tomorrow. We can continue.
Sandeep, so like one that service mesh you told us to.
ದಿನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ವಾ ಅದು ಓಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ನಾನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡಿ ನಾಳೆ when I get the time, so I will show you tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So demo project will be having, sir, like
demo also tomorrow I will show you. Already some of all ಎಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, so almost I showed everything. So if you want end to end, so I think one is left, like the architecture of the project. So I will explain you tomorrow.
Okay, so I had explained, sir, like using that GitHub Actions and Argo CD deployment, right?
Yeah, yes. Okay, the Sai, right? Oh,
Yeah.
He explained right from end to end. He also already explained. But so in application level, I will show you like how it will work.
Okay, sure.
Okay. But now you guys know, right? So how the modules work? What is the folder structure of modules? So how you are going to pass values to your Helm charts? These things you know, right? So this was explained by Sai.
Yes, like if they ask about our project flow, so where exactly we can start and end. So we need that one proper format for that. Explain our project flow.
The one is like one architecture of our project. So I will show you and explain you. So whenever in the interview, if they ask you to are you worked on Argo CD? You can tell them like in our project I was using for Jenkins for internal project. I for self-learning purpose I used Argo CD. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And also if they ask you are you have idea, I mean, do you have any idea on GitHub Action, then you can tell them like no for self-learning purpose I learned, but I never implement in the real time. Okay, don't tell anything I don't know. Okay, you can just manage it. Anyway, if you learn if you know Jenkins, this will be easy for to write in Azure DevOps also. Okay, in Azure DevOps, GitLab, both are same. Both the tools we are going to write YAML file only. Okay.
So we people anyhow coming for giving that mobile SIM. So on that time, can you show the project is better, because I think
Yes, sir.
5 to 10 people are coming, I think, on that day. Sunday.
Okay, that will also be better. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.